Tonight on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, since Hollywood is obsessed with redoing, rebooting, remaking, reimagining old horror movies, well, why not do Scream? So tonight's movie, Scream 5. And no, I'm not going to call it Scream or Scream 2022. It's Scream 5, okay?
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror! I missed that slap there. Oh, come on. Cuts, guts, and on some occasion, maybe some sluts. But yes, tonight, they are not going to be around because I am once again, against my better judgment, reviewing another modern horror movie, and that horror movie is the movie Scream. Oh, wait. Not that one. No. This Scream. Scream 2022, or maybe I should just call it what it should have been called from the original. Scream 5. Scream 5. I don't know why you can't just put the number on there. Are you just have such low expectations for your film that you just have to like call it Scream and hope people think it's, hey, they're re-showing that first one that was really good. Anyways, Scream 5. I'm just gonna call it Scream 5 because I mean that's what it is. It's also, it will be less confusing that way. So Scream 5. What is Scream 5 about? Well, it is, it starts off very similarly to Scream, the original, Scream 1, with a girl alone in the house, and she gets a phone call. It seems innocent enough at first, but then quickly turns into a struggle for survival as this ominous voice wants to play horror movie trivia. And she ends up getting stabbed multiple times, but miraculously survives. Why? Well, so that, her estranged sister, who's living in another town, has to come and visit her. And apparently that is because she has a sinister secret that they tell you right off the bat in the movie anyways, but still, it is a secret. I'll keep it a secret. I'll let you be all surprised by it, whatever. Anyways, and that secret is one of the reasons why she was lured into town, so that the killer Ghostface can enact a new awesome vision of slasher goodness. Yes, and as the bodies start to drop, it is up to her and some people from past movies to figure out what's going on and stop the killing before, well, they all end up being part of the ever-growing body count. So let's get to those scores, shall we? Violence and gore. I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 5. It is a stab festival. It is a slice and dice. It is a cut above the rest, so to speak. Anyways, there is a little CG assists in some of these scenes, which honestly, I just have to get used to it. That's the new normal, guys. CG blood, CG violence. It's not all there. It's not in its entirety, but still, there are moments, and you're just like, I wish that was done practical. Anyways, and if one of those scenes was done practical, they did a really bad job of it. Anyways, it is bloody, it is brutal, it is very, very stabby. So 5 out of 5. Moving on to shock value, I'm going to give this one a solid 3 out of 5. There are a bunch of jump scares in this movie, as well as some fake out jumps. And I, for one, am a fan of the jump scare. It's like a roller coaster. I go on a roller coaster because, I like that feeling, that rush of adrenaline, that sort of like, oh my god, this as we're heading up that anticipation, and then the release as you go down that first gigantic hill. And to me, horror movies, in a way, nowadays are at their best when they can inspire those visceral adrenaline moments. So it's nowadays it's either you've got to have like tons of tension, or you've got to be able to hit those jumps well, or you just have to be batshit crazy and insane. You know, I mean, those are the movies that are going to grab your attention and really stick with you. And yeah, I know there's the movies that can make you think and stuff like that too. But in the end, sometimes you just want to feel that rush of exhilaration. So anyways, 3 out of 5 for that. Moving on to plot. And I am going to give this and this is probably like one of the toughest decisions I've had to make when it comes to a plot, because there is a lot of stuff that I appreciate this movie trying to do, but in the end, there is enough problems to sort of warrant what I'm going to give it, and that's a 2.5 out of 5. It's, first of all, let's get with the positives. Maybe I should start with the negatives and then go to the positives. Let's start with the negatives first. Okay, so the negative is it's super predictable. I mean, I figured out the killers before halfway through the movie. It was, and the thing is, like through the movie, I'm going, okay, it's that, yeah. And then as the movie was progressing, I'm just going like, oh, please let me be wrong. You know, have like a little bit more, interesting plot ending than that. But no, at the end, it's like, oh yeah, I was right. And I'm disappointed that I was right. And once again, like even talking about the what was it, Spiral, I figured that one out, and it's just like, is it because these movies are just doing a really bad job? And I think it is. You try to do the red herring thing, but it's a fine line, because if you move a little, if you do too much, it becomes obvious. And the thing is, also, the movie sets it up so that, it's trying to subvert some expectations. And so what they did was so blatant in the context of what they're trying to do with this movie, that it was like, it like, you might as well just have said who the killer is at the beginning. They should have at the beginning, just say, this is the killer. Plural? What? Why did I say that? Nothing? No reason? Not that. This is really recycling a lot of the first Scream movie. Anyways, and that's another problem, is that it recycles a lot of the first Scream movie in its story beats and in some of its tone. And it just like, some of it was great, but some of it just kind of went like, okay, well, this is that. And another thing was, when you're doing the red herring thing, if you do too light of a touch on something, that kind of tells you things too. Anyways, so you have that, plus you have kind of a weird situation, but you have a scene where, like, the chief of police, or not the chief, the sergeant, or not sheriff, small town sheriff, and I know it's a small town because people call it a small town. So sheriff driving to get home because her son's in danger. She calls all available units, or not even all available, all units converge on my house now. So you would think, in a small town, not really, widespread out, you probably have a handful, if not more, people out there, police officers, in cars. Your boss, the sheriff, tells you to converge. You're in the middle of a serial killer situation. You would think it would take them less than like 20 to 30 minutes to get there, but apparently not. Like, and the movie didn't even create a sense of urgency when it comes to the scenes happening when the police are supposedly rushing on their way to the scene. I mean, it felt like, you know, the movie figured that it had like all day to do everything that it did. And the scenes kind of meandered a little bit and had some faux scares. And it really felt like it was lacking that sense of urgency. And I think it really needed that sense of urgency to make that more tense situation. Because there's like, okay, we might be able to survive because the police are coming. But there's just never that feeling like they're going to show up anywhere close to on time. Anyways, and plus the second thing is like the hospital. Like there's gunshots, there's screams, there's crying, and you would think that there would be, I don't know, more than just one security person in the entire hospital, or I don't know, staff to go, hey, what's with all the shooting and stuff like that? You would think, I don't know, you would be able to like, hey, let's figure that out. Oh, you know what? We can just let like a group of people rushing into the hospital, get onto the elevator, get to the private secure room or floor without, I don't know, other people coming with them and stuff like that. And then, of course, there is a death that is completely unnecessary and was stupid. And honestly, that really kind of pissed me off because it was stupid and unnecessary. Because there's no way they would do the character would do something that stupid. Honestly, it was dumb. And everyone in the history of the universe watching this movie knew what was going to happen because of that stupid decision. Everyone knew it. And it was dumb and unnecessary. Anyway, so, other than that, I did like the fact that, you know, it's a meta movie. And it even, like, talks about, like, you know, how naming a movie that's a sequel the same name as the original is kind of a dumb idea, and yet here we are. So you know, this whole idea of, like, you know, the fandom and stuff like that. And in the end, maybe it's a little punch in the face to the fandom, because it was like, yes, we realize that you know that this is stupid. We know this is stupid. But guess what? We don't care what you think. We're doing what we want. Screw you, fans. Which I think is the wrong message. Anyways, but maybe it does show that there is this level of disdain that the creators have for the fandom. And I think that's actually kind of sad. But otherwise, I do like the meta references. I do like the humor. The movie is well paced. It speeds along, and you know, and it's entertaining. Even being super predictable and has some plot problems, it's still a fun movie that entertains you. So anyways, 2.5 out of 5. Moving on to acting, I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5. It would have been higher, except when the murder mastermind, so to speak, the killer reveal. Then all of a sudden the acting went from, like, I'm a normal person to I am a mustache-twirling villain and I'm psychotic, so I have to act much more psychotic. And it was such a shift. And it's so overdone that, yeah, I gotta ding him on that acting. Otherwise, everyone else was pretty good in this one. 3.5 out of 5. Moving on to enjoyment factor, because let's face it, modern movie, not gonna have any of that other category that I usually score, and so. Yeah, that's 0 out of 5. But we're going to move on to enjoyment factor. And surprisingly, I'm going to give this one a solid 3.5 out of 5 from the enjoyment factor, because I ended up really entertained by the movie. Yes, there was a lot of eye rolling. There was a lot of, oh my goodness, come on. And it's definitely not a great movie, but I would say that it is a good movie, and it's definitely better than Scream 3, and perhaps better than Scream 4. I'll have to rewatch Scream 2 again, because it's been a while, and but I'm sure, I don't know, like, but it's pretty good, despite its flaws. So I found it entertaining. It was violent. It was bloody. The ending a little cheesy, but overall it was fine. 3.5 out of 5. And my overall impression is a 3 out of 5. It's a well put together movie. For the most part, visually, pace wise, it just has some issues with the plot, issues with the predictability, and a little bit acting problems for the end. But overall, it's a solid movie. It's a solid and fun movie, and I think it does enough to honor the legacy and doesn't do too much to destroy it, like other movies may end up doing too much and destroy the legacy, or try to destroy the legacy, or at least make them, betray the legacy of the movie. I think this one was a fine job. So 3 out of 5. That averages out to a 2.9 out of 5, which is pretty good. So there you have it. Scream 5. Tell me what you think in the comments section below. Do you agree with me, disagree with me? Anyways, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, all that rigmarole, yada yada. And I will see you next time on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. And until then, remember to stay scary, internet. And also, if you're constructing a movie and you want to keep the villains' secret identities, try not to be so on the nose with certain things. I mean, I know you have to have clues and they have to make sense, but there is a way of doing it subtly, and there is a way of obscuring that and causing confusion. And this movie is a masterclass on how you don't do that, because, my goodness, you might as well just said in the opening credits, this is the killer. Yada, yada, yada. Anyways, yeah. Anyway. Also, if you're in a killer situation and your girlfriend leaves the house, and then you're like, oh, I want to check up on her, and you have this, Find Me app or whatever, stuff like that. It's a trap. It's always a trap. It's a death trap. I mean, come on. You use your brain, people. She left the house. You just assume she's dead at that point. And that, if you're like, oh, the app shows me to that scary, dark, bushy area over there. I shall probably go over there. No, that is going towards your death. Anyways, that's it.